I'd like to begin by taking a moment to honor the life of a man deeply beloved in this community, Coach John Beam. Unfortunately, Coach Beam passed away this morning from a gunshot wound that he sustained yesterday. I know that Coach Beam meant a lot to the Oakland community and beyond, and that's why I've invited former Oakland Deputy Chief and current Piedmont Police Chief Fred Shavies to share a statement from the family and to honor Coach Beam, the man, and his dear friend with a few words. After Chief Shavies speaks, CID Commander Lieutenant Gloria Beltran and Assistant Chief James Beer will provide details about several cases that have affected our community over the past 7 days. They include the double homicide that occurred last Thursday, November the 6th, in the 1100 block of 98th Ave, Wednesday's shooting at Skyline High School, and yesterday's shooting that resulted in the death of Coach Beam at Laney College. I want to take a moment to thank the men and women of the Oakland Police Department. Over the last week, they have been working tirelessly to identify and arrest suspects in each of these cases. I want to extend my gratitude to everyone that has been involved in these investigations here at OPD, the Alameda County Sheriff's Office, who took the subject into custody yesterday regarding Coach Beam's death, and our federal partners who showed up and offered their assistance and support yesterday. I'll now turn it over to Chief Shavies to discuss the impact Coach Beam had on his life and the lives of so many others in this neighborhood, in this community, and throughout the United States. Chief.
Thank you, Chief. First, I'll read a statement from Coach Beam's family. We are devastated that John Beam, our loving husband, father, grandfather, brother, uncle, coach, mentor, and friend, has passed. Our hearts are full from the outpouring of love and support from all who cared about him. We are deeply grateful for your continued prayers, well wishes, and thoughts. At this time, we kindly ask everyone to fully respect our family's privacy. And I am, my comments are not as former deputy chief in Oakland or even the chief of police in the city of Piedmont, but as a friend, a mentee, and a longtime admirer of Coach John Beam. John was so much more than a coach. He was a father figure to thousands of not only men but young women in our community. I know that I am not eloquent enough to put into words the indelible mark that Coach Beam has left on so many, not just in this region, but around the state and around the nation. I know that I speak for the thousands of players of his that have played for him for the last 40 plus years, the hundreds that held vigil last night at the hospital as he fought, like he had taught all of us to do over the course of the last 40 plus years. I met Coach when I was in the 8th grade at Bret Harte Junior High School, and I actually, to a lot of folks' surprise, never had the opportunity to play for Coach Beam, but he had meant so much to me. I lost my father when I was in high school, and Coach has, since I was 15, 16, 17 years old, always been there for me, has always reached out to me, and it's not just me. You think about, like I said, the hundreds of individuals that were there last night, and I think about the other 500 to thousands that couldn't make it to the hospital last night. The Skyline, Laney, Oakland, California, Hawaii, West Coast, San Diego family is mourning this morning or this afternoon or over the last couple of days at the loss of such an absolutely incredible human being. And I say that I can say that, an absolutely incredible human being. And our hearts are aching. I know that in the coming days there will be opportunities to have conversation with some of the former players from Skyline and from Laney. I know that that Coach has kept in touch with so many. Some people always ask, how did he talk to and leave his mark on so many people with just 24 hours in a day, right? The amount of cold calls that individuals got from him in between meetings and practices and film study. But Coach was, he was special, and it's tragic that we lost him, especially in the way that we lost him. I would just ask that you all keep coaches, all of the Skyline and Laney alums in your prayers. And I know that if, if Coach was here, he would end by saying, 2 claps, ready, ready. And so with that, I'll turn it over to Lieutenant Beltran.
Sir, could we just get your name, your spelling of your name?
My name is Frederick, F-R-E-D-E-R-I-C-K, Shavies, S-H-A-V like Victor, I-E-S.
And your title? One time.
I am the Chief of Police in the City of Piedmont.
Good afternoon. My name is Gloria Beltran, and I am the commander for the homicide unit at OPD. I'm going to cover the 2 homicides, as Chief Mitchell stated, that we've had in the last week. On November 6th at 11:36 a.m., OPD officers responded to the 1100 block of 98th Avenue to investigate a report of a shooting. When they arrived, they located 2 victims suffering from gunshot wounds. Unfortunately, both victims succumbed to their injuries and were pronounced deceased on scene. The victims were identified as Marquez Jeter and Leroy Isab. Through our investigation, we learned that the two victims had been involved in a physical dispute earlier prior to the shooting. We also learned that a 3rd person was involved in the shooting. On November 13th, 27-year-old Daryl Malone was arrested for his involvement in the homicide. The case will be presented to the DA's office today for charging. The second homicide is Coach Beam's homicide that occurred yesterday. On November 13th at 11:53 a.m., OPD officers responded to Laney College, located in the 400 block of East 8th Street. When they arrived, they located Coach John Beam suffering from gunshot wounds. He was transported to a local area hospital where he was listed in critical condition. With the assistance of the community and the Alameda County Sheriff's Office, we were able to obtain photos of the suspect. On November 14th at 3:15 a.m., Alameda County Sheriff's Deputy Torres observed someone who matched the suspect description at the San Leandro BART station. The suspect was taken into custody and identified as 27-year-old Cedric Irving. OPD investigators interviewed the suspect, and he provided a statement regarding the shooting. On November 14, at approximately 10 a.m., Coach Beam was pronounced deceased. Investigators are actively working the case, and the case will be presented to the DA's office for charging.
Now we're going to turn it over to Chief Beer.
Good afternoon. As many of you already know, on Wednesday, November 12th, shortly before 1:30 p.m., the Oakland Police Department received reports of shots being fired at Skyline High School campus. Officers responded to the scene in approximately 2 minutes and were able to locate the victim, a 15-year-old juvenile suffering from a gunshot wound. Officers provided life-saving medical aid until paramedics arrived, and the victim was transported to a local hospital for treatment. I want to commend the staff of Skyline High School and the Oakland police officers. They worked together collaboratively with open communication and were able to identify, locate, detain, and arrest 2 suspects involved in the shooting. Both were armed with firearms. It should be noted that both guns were ghost guns. Since then, the Alameda County District Attorney's Office has charged both juveniles, and they remain in custody. The victim is currently recovering. He's in good spirits, and it's all of our well wishes that he has a full and complete recovery. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the strong coordination between Skyline High School staff and our officers. The prompt communication and cooperation ensured the safety for all students on campus, allowing our officers to respond swiftly and effectively. It should be noted that the Oakland police officers in all of these cases that you just heard responded in a very quick fashion and immediately began their investigations and were able to utilize technology as a tool. Without this technology, we definitely would have been challenged. The officers, with coordination with the community, outside law enforcement agencies, and the ability to actually track the suspect after he left Laney College was a diligent effort and an amazing heavy lift to go through hundreds of hours of surveillance footage so we could track that individual. And it was additional technology besides just cameras that were used. I do want to circle back and just reiterate the dedication of the men and women of the Oakland Police Department is the reason why we were able to make arrests in all of these cases and recover several firearms and remove them from our community. It's completely unacceptable for our children and our community members to be exposed to violence like this. With that, I'll open it up for any questions.
Chief, with the 98 and C, or Lieutenant, are we saying this individual is responsible for killing one or both?
No. So during the course of the investigation, they have identified who actually shot. There's 2 people that we do know that actually exchanged gunfire. We're working with the district attorney's office to kind of drill down on that. There hasn't been any charges just yet, so we're going to leave that up to the district attorney's office to determine.
And with the coach's case, I'm sorry, do we have any indication that Mr. Irving, according to reports, has played at Skyline when the coach was not at Skyline and already left?
I can confirm that the subject that you're talking about has played high school football in the city of Oakland, but he did not play for Coach Beam.
Related to the Laney College situation, the suspect, did he know Mr. Beam? Why was he on campus? Were they meeting? What was the incident? Was there an interaction?
So the suspect did know Coach Beam, but I will say they did not have a relationship.
Do we know why he was on campus or interacting with Coach Beam?
He was on campus for a specific reason.
Teresa?
Our understanding is that, so there was no relationship between the two, so was he there, we're hearing reports that Coach Beam stopped some kind of theft or something like that. So do we have happenstance that the two interacted and that there wasn't a direct confrontation between the two or relationship?
So this wasn't related to a robbery, if that's what you're asking. This was a very targeted incident. And I will say that Coach Beam, although they did not have a close relationship, was open to helping everybody in our community. And this is not uncommon for him to have a relationship with someone that he would think needs help. In this case, I can just tell you that the individual that was arrested went specifically to the campus for a specific reason.
Melina? Do we know if he has a prior?
Melina?
Do you know how long he had been on campus? Was he stalking Coach Beam? I mean, from the video, from what you were able to see in your investigation, how long was he there before the shooting took place?
So unfortunately, I'm not going to go into the specific details of the timeline of when he got to campus. I will tell you that he has been known to loiter on and around the campus.
Gentleman back there?
Hi, I was wondering, did Cedric Irving provide a motive for the shooting?
I'm not going to discuss that just yet because the case hasn't been charged by the district attorney's office, so I want them to review the case before we discuss details.
Do you know if he was a Laney student?
He was not a Laney student.
Megan?
Was he supposed to be playing football at Laney at some point? That's what family members have told us.
I have not heard that, but to the extent of my knowledge, he played football at Skyline High School, but not when Coach Beam was there.
Okay, and never was a student at Laney?
Not that I know of, no.
You said there was a reason. Can you share that reason?
I can't right now just because the case is still being presented to the district attorney's office, and that's all part of what the motive of the crime is.
And is there any other background on the suspect for the Laney murder? I mean, was there any priors or we have family members that are saying he was a loner. Do
So-
you guys have any kind of?
Yeah, we're still looking into his background. Obviously, that's something that we're going to take a deep dive into, but right now I can't comment on that.
Kylie?
Yeah, I was just gonna piggyback on that to see if he was known to y'all in any other capacity.
No, he was not known to the Oakland Police Department.
Matt?
When you say tracked, and I know this may sound like I'm asking you to divulge police techniques, etc., but can you tell us anything more about how cameras and other technology were used to identify this suspect and then make an arrest?
That's a great question. I'll tell you right now, it's really the dedication of the women and the men of the Oakland Police Department and working with Laney College staff as well as the Alameda County Sheriff's Department, our business owners as well as the merchants and residents. We looked at every camera that we could legally look at. I will tell you we used Ring cameras, business cameras, cameras that we have access to. This is, honestly, without technology, our community would have been put further at risk. And this is a tool that we need, specifically since our numbers are dropping and the levels are dropping, but you're not going to be able to replace it without the actual police officers on the street. We used the cameras from Laney College to residences to be able to track them to the downtown area. We utilized the cameras from the uptown downtown bid all the ways to even into North Oakland, out to East Oakland, which brought us to the Alameda County Sheriff's Department again to pull bus video footage, and at which point with the bus video footage, the deputy was able to recognize the individual to take him into custody.
Harry, did you have a question? Answer?
The suspect in the Laney College, was he arrested without incident? Did he put up a struggle? Did he confess? Number one. Number two, did he work on the campus? Was he connected to the campus in any way?
There's 3 questions, so bear with me. If I miss something, let me know. So, 1, he was taken into custody out of incident. Thankfully, there was no force other than having to be handcuffed being used. 2, he did not work on Laney campus. And 3, what was that?
What was my third question? Was he? I think you answered it. He didn't work there.
2 last questions, Kylie, and then Harry.
Did you recover the weapon?
Yes, so the weapon has been recovered. We're currently in the process of going through the evidence that was processed at the scene. We have had our lab immediately respond to the location. The weapon is the same caliber that was recovered on him as the calibers of the casings as well as the live rounds recovered on scene. So we will actually go through the scientific process of looking at the evidence to make sure that it is the exact same weapon. I will tell you, in all of these incidents that have occurred, we've recovered the weapons involved, which is, again, it's a testament to the hard work of the men and women of this police department, as well as the Alameda County Sheriff's Department. What's scary is we have 15-year-old kids bringing guns to school, right? You have a coach that's on campus there to help the public, and someone's able to come on campus with a gun. You have a father showing up to solve a dispute in East Oakland with a handgun, and they all turn tragic. So we have a lot of work still to do, not just as a police department, but the entire community.
Last question, Henry. Henry, last question.
Chief, I know you can't go into motive, but do you believe, can you say with specificity that this individual known to loiter on the lady went to specifically to kill and target Beam personally?
He hasn't been charged yet, so we're not going to be able to get into that. We have to wait for him to be charged before we can get out any more information.